And then you paste. Hare Krishna. I just gotta set something up here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, technology. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are in the process. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Govinda. Hare Krishna. The spiritual world is much better facilities for serving the Lord. In the material world, there's a lot of technical difficulties. Krishna. Krishna. All right, here we go. Should be good now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Oh, Krishna, Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Krishna. I woke up this morning with this melody, this tune, and tried to capture it on the harmonium. Musician, I'm not, but let's see what goes on here. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. These are some nice tunes for, because I want to go out into the public, find a grassy area or an appropriate place. People are walking by, just living their lives, and chant. And this is the kind of tune that I would like to chant if I went out into public. I would like to chant a melody like that. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. So I was going to read a little bit Chaitanya Charitamrta and chant and offer my most humble obeisances to my spiritual master, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and to my Shiksha Guru, His Grace, that transcendental madman in the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Gaura Haridas. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, and to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hari Ram, Ram Ram, Hari Hari. We're just like desire trees. Go fulfill the desires of everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hey, how you doing, my Nini? Yeah, well, so I try something different. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram. I just came up with this. I woke up this morning with this really great tune. You know, it's like that because I'm thinking about going out like I used to many moons ago into the public, you know, and chanting. You know, they're walking by, they're doing all whatever it is they're doing, and you sit there and you chant, and they can hear the mantra. It's really nice, you know. It's not like attacking them. It's just let them hear this beautiful Maha mantra. And I woke up with I really would like to go out and chant with this tune. And I was playing it on harmonium. It's Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Love to go out and chant that. So, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I'm just going to read a little bit, Chaitanya Charitamrta. And when Gohari was speaking the other day, really, you know, he's like right in your face, rah, 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 you know. And, you know, he said something that, you know, because I was just starting to like kind of go online more live, you know. I haven't been able to say anything for 50 years. And finally, I feel like, you know, I have like a voice, you know, because of taking shelter of Gohari. I finally can say something, you know, about Krishna and really mean it, you know. And so I was going online and it was like 2 hours, you know, I couldn't stop reading, talking, sharing things. But when he was giving the class the other day, he said, you know, what is this going online for 2 hours? Blah, 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 blah. Just go out there, you know, do something so people can hear. You're sitting here, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow. I guess he's talking about me, you know. I felt terrible. I felt awful. So I took it as, you know, don't just sit, you know, there. And he said, oh, preach it to the choir. You know, just don't sit there and like just within our little group and go blah, blah, blah. He said, don't do that. So he says, well, he's got to be talking about me, you know. So I said, well, all right, and try something else. I'll go out, you know. But it was made me feel terrible. But I can't help it. Wherever I go, I'm going to go blah, blah, blah. So instead of going blah, blah, blah in the group, I'll go blah, blah, blah somewhere else. Because that's what I do. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Charitamrta, Chaitanya Charitamrta, da 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 da. Jai Shri Prabhupada, Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Gar Haridas, crazy madman, Hare Krishna. Good grief. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Oh, it's what I heard. Manini says, who has told blah, blah, blah? Some bad devotee. I don't understand. Well, Hare Krishna, Hari said that. He didn't name me, but the description fit me because there wasn't anybody else going on for 2 hours and talking. So, if the shoe fits, you wear it, And so it wasn't easy to hear. I felt terrible, but Hare Krishna. Whatever it is, So I'm out here. Hello, Haribo, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna. So he's going to read Chaitanya Charitamrta, chapter 8. These are all pastimes. When we actually do enter into the spiritual atmosphere, and entering into the spiritual atmosphere, this is my realization, means the spiritual atmosphere enters into you also. It happens simultaneously. You're conscious of the spiritual atmosphere, and the spiritual atmosphere is within you as well as outside. And the spiritual atmosphere is also conscious. So Krishna is there in the spiritual atmosphere, and become more and more aware of your relationship with Krishna and with the other persons who are also experiencing this entrance into this other atmosphere. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And you deal with the world. You do what you have to do. You go shopping, you clean the house. You do stuff. But your consciousness is in this other level of Krishna. Like at first it's like really, really exhilarating, and it's maddening. But then it levels out because that's where you live now. You live there. You live in Krishna. Krishna lives in you. And it's not like some, for me anyway, I don't know, maybe there's more to go, but it's not like some overwhelming thing that was God. It's not like that for me. It's like, this is where I live. I live in this spiritual environment. Krishna. And it's just really nice. I feel like I'm, I'm home, Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, so we're gonna hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like in one part of the spiritual world, yes, we live in Krishna. We do. Krishna. If we don't live in Krishna, we're not really alive. I'll tell you that right now. Walking around in a coma, you gotta live. That's where the life is. It's in Krishna. It's in God. Hare Krishna. Yes, great. It is nothing more wonderful. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And I was thinking how in one part of the spiritual sky, there's this pastime. One part, actually, it's in Vrindavan, is this pastime that Krishna is experiencing of what it's like to be Radha, feeling separation from him. That's in Vrindavan. They're playing. They're enacting these pastimes in Vrindavan. That is Krishna. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna. And this pastime is taking place in Vrindavan. It's a Radha Krishna pastime. And but he manifests that pastime. Like 500 years ago, he personally came and manifested it because he wanted to taste it and also make it available to others who were rotting here in this material world. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. But that pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radha and separation is taking place in Vrindavan. It's a Vrindavan pastime. It's a Vrindavan Lila. We call it Chaitanya Lila, but it's a Vrindavan Lila. Hare Krishna. And for us to enter into that Vrindavan atmosphere, that's the Lila that's being made available to us, is the Chaitanya Lila. Hare Krishna. Oh, Krishna. Oh, boy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So, Gaur Haridas's preaching is really key to entering into this Vrindavan Lila. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. All right, so Chaitanya Charitamrta, this is Krishnadas Kaviraj, and he spends the whole first part of the book establishing that Krishna really is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he establishes that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. Okay. So the Krishna of Vrindavan is the Supreme Personality of God. It spends the whole first part of the book establishing that with quotes and arguments, and establishes that. And then he establishes that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that same Krishna, Vrindavan Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So now this is chapter 8, and Hare Krishna. He's discussing the super excellence of bhakti, devotion. And he explains how this isn't achieved by austerities. It's not achieved by knowledge alone. It's not achieved by the way of bhakti is by the mercy of the Lord, or the Lord's representative. That's where the bhakti comes from. And it makes perfect sense. How are you going to have a loving relationship with someone without someone being there? You're just going to kind of like imagine it? No. If you're going to develop a loving relationship with someone, there has to be someone there to develop the loving relationship with. Huh? Doesn't it? So that's the bona fide spiritual master. And that's the path of Kripa, Siddha, or the path of mercy. And a spiritual master, according to time, place, and circumstance, will give a prescription. It's according to time, place, and circumstance. It's not an absolute. The absolute is that the spiritual master can prescribe and does prescribe prescriptions for certain time, place, and circumstance. That's the absolute part. But what he prescribes, that may vary. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So in that sense, even the path of sadhana, siddha, is also has an element of kripa siddha in it. Although on that path, the kripa siddha may be hidden. Hare Krishna, or the path of causeless mercy. Prabhupada said you can surrender in a second, but you won't. So I'm going to give you something that you can do. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, that will help you gradually. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So here, Krishnadas Kaviraj is further establishing super excellence of this causeless mercy of bhakti. Which, if you look in Chaitanya Charitamrta, it's not teaching rules and regulations and social structure. Chaitanya Charitamrita, it does not deal with any of that, and neither does the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is not teaching varnashram, he's not teaching austerities, he's not teaching any of that. What he's teaching is what he came to teach. He's tasting ecstatic love with Krishna, and he's sharing that. He's manifesting it, sharing it. That's how he taught. Now, sometimes there were discussions where he would explain the philosophy, but he would always bring it to that point, like he did with Prakasananda. They discussed the details of the Vedanta, and in very few verses, maybe 5 or 6 verses, they went from, the Brahman realization to conjugal love of Krishna in like 5 verses. And all the Mayavadis accepted it. Why? Because they had Kripa Siddha. They had the Lord himself sitting right there, manifesting this ecstatic mood, love of Godhead. You could see it in his body. You could hear it in his voice. Krishna. And the scripture supported it. Boom, done, finished deal. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, so Krishnadas, this is text 20. Krishnadas Kaviraj continues, he says, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has freely, this is what I'm realizing, and here it is, the confirmation. Okay, I can't even read this verse because it just says, oh, Krishna, here it is. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has freely given this love of Krishna everywhere and anywhere, even to the most fallen, such as Jagai and Madai. What then to speak of those who are already pious and elevated? Hare Krishna, and he gives this mercy freely, even to murderers and thieves. Of course, once a person like that gets the mercy, then these things, they become undone. They don't last because the taste is too high, and then these unwanted things, they go. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Like Murari the hunter, or is it Magrari the hunter, right? Magrari, he learned from his family occupation, was handed down generations, that when you go hunting, you don't fully kill the animal, you just shoot it, wound it, and let it lie there and suffer. That's how you hunt. Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah. So he was going about this, and Narada Muni was traveling in that area, and he noticed all these poor animals lying there, wounded, suffering, in pain. He's like, who is doing this? What is this? And he approached this hunter, and just by having darshan with Narada, seeing the beauty of Narada, he was struck with ecstasy, transcendental ecstasies. His eyes were open, and he could see the beauty of the creation, and he had access to the spiritual atmosphere. Even though he was this terrible, degraded personality going around causing so much pain to others, and immediately surrendered, fell at the feet of Narada, just by, that's Kripa Siddha. Narada's presence, Narada's association, because Narada went there to try to deliver that person from those horrible things. And his character completely changed. He wouldn't dream of doing that. It's like there's a whole nother life that was gone. And what is it? Narada came back to visit. He was traveling with another transcendental personality, I think Angira Muni. They were traveling together, singing and chanting the glories of the Lord. And when Magrari saw them from a distance coming, he ran to greet his spiritual master. But there were some little ants on the road, and he was like, "Get these ants! I didn't even want to step on them." So he was hopping, and he was how transformed he became. This is like the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Transformed, Jagan Madai. They were murderers, thieves, who knows what else. I'm sure everything else. And they were transformed by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda. Their spiritual eyes were open. Their hearts became clean and full of love for God. It can happen in a second. And it did. Hare Krishna. The mercy of Lord Chaitanya is like that. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, next verse, 21. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, is fully independent. Therefore, although it is the most confidentially stored benediction, he can distribute love of Godhead to anyone and everyone without consideration. A confidentially stored benediction. Hare Krishna. Because he can do anything and everything. If he wants to give it out freely, he can. And he does. And he is. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. The stage is set for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless mercy to engulf everyone. The stage is set. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. That's why it was so important for Prabhupada to get the books out. And he said like that, he said, our ISKCON may actually fail in different ways. Fail doesn't necessarily mean collapse. The Gaudiya Math was considered a failed mission. It didn't collapse. It continued on to one degree or another, presenting Krishna consciousness, but was considered to have failed in delivering this ultimate benediction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this causeless mercy to everyone. In that sense, it was considered failed. So when Prabhupada says ISKCON may fail, it doesn't mean that ISKCON would necessarily collapse or go away, but that it may fail in this very specific mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of giving out the causeless mercy to anyone and everyone causelessly, just freely. it may fail in that. Hare Krishna. But Prabhupada said, if that happens, and ISKCON does become sidetracked, which we can see the tendency for that is there. Tendency is there, pulling on welfare work and economic development on big projects like this. It can get distracted. And we see the tendency for that. But Prabhupada said, because the books are out, the Hare Krishna movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this prema bhakti, it can't be stopped. So, Hare Krishna. And that's what this book is about. It's about this causeless mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. It's important who we hear from. If we hear from someone who is tasting their relationship with Krishna in love, in ecstatic love, we hear from them, then their words will carry that mercy. They carry that mercy. Hare Krishna, Hare. The holy name is always pure. It's always pure. Hare Krishna, Hare. But those who are chanting it, they may have other things going on. Krishna, like, Hare Krishna is like abracadabra, I want money. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, abracadabra, I want power. Hare Krishna, abracadabra, it's not like that. Hare Krishna it's got an abracadabra, but it's not for material enhancement. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I was reading. I've never really read the entire Old Testament, so I was kind of like plowing through it last night. And Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It really is like a child's version of the truth. It really is. Oh my goodness. Hare Krishna, it's very interesting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. At least in the beginning, like sections of Genesis, it's about material rewards. By following the Lord, you'll get this kingdom and you'll flourish. And it's about following the Lord, then you'll get things on the material plane. And you'll live a long life like this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It's like reward and punishment. So in that sense, it is, at least that part, is like a child's version of the truth. Because with children, there's a lot of reward and punishing going on. Krishna, because you can't reason with them, So in order to, correct the behavior, try to get some appropriate civilized behavior, so there's a system of reward and punishment. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Then a little later on, even in Genesis, the Lord starts to associate a little bit more with the devotees. I mean, that's what was going on with Arjuna, isn't it? He was guiding Arjuna's chariot to do this, then, and then these inimical kings, they'll be killed. We're going to have the battle of Kurukshetra, and I'll drive your chariot. So, yeah, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So you can have me as your chariot driver. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Everything the Lord does is wonderful. But in his appearance as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is super excellence, because Krishna The Lord is making available the most ecstatic mood of loving relationship with Him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. And the Lord's always wonderful. Chariot driver, it's Krishna. Old Testament, it's Krishna, guiding those people. Time, place, and circumstance. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Noah built a boat. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. All right, so Krishna, Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita. Text 22. Whether he is offensive or inoffensive, anyone who even now chants Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda is immediately overwhelmed with ecstasy and tears fill his eyes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Whether he is offensive or inoffensive, anyone who even now chants Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda is immediately overwhelmed with ecstasy and tears fill his eyes. This is an interesting purport here. Prabhupada talks about the Prakrita Sahajiyas, or the imitators. Prabhupada's purport, the Prakrita Sahajiyas, who chant Nitai Gaur Radhe Sham, have very little knowledge of the Bhagavad conclusion. And they hardly follow the Vaishnava rules and regulations. And yet, because they chant Bhaja Nitai Gaur, their chanting immediately invokes tears and other signs of ecstasy. Although they do not know the principles of Vaishnava philosophy and are not very advanced in education, by these symptoms, they attract many men to become their followers. Their ecstatic tears, of course, will help them in the long run, for as soon as they come in contact with pure devotees, their lives will become successful. Even in the beginning, however, because they are chanting the holy names of Nitai Gaur, their swift advancement on the path of love of Godhead is very prominently visible. It's interesting that Prabhupada actually praises the Prakriti Sahajiya. He doesn't recommend it, but he praises that because they're chanting in ecstasy, they will very quickly achieve pure love of Godhead. And he says that's when they come in contact with a pure devotee. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Krishna's all good. More than all good. Hare Krishna. Text 23. Simply by talking of Nityananda Prabhu, one awakens his love for Krishna. Thus, all his bodily limbs are agitated by ecstasy, and tears flow from his eyes like the waters of the Ganges. It's interesting that Prabhupada, going back to this purport where he talks about the Prakriti Sahajiyas, it looks like they do have the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what Prabhupada sees missing is, they say they hardly follow Vaishnava rules, and they don't know the principles of Vaishnava philosophy. So that's what why they're in that category of Prakriti Sahajiya, is they don't know the Vaishnava philosophy and they don't follow the rules. Now those rules, when you say rules and regulations, immediately the sadhana bhaktas think, oh, no intoxication, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling. Those are the regulations. No. Those aren't spiritual regulations. Those are material regulations to behavior modification. Those are not spiritual rules. Those are material rules for material behavior. I mean, look at them. That's don't do this, don't do that, don't. Those aren't spiritual rules. Those rules are meant to regulate behavior, external behavior. The rules and regulations, the devotional rules and regulations, are the hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshiping, making friends with the Lord, carrying out a specific order that's been given to you by the Lord, offering everything one has in one's possession for the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Those are the regulations. Those are the rules and regulations. So the Prakriti Sahaji are not necessarily following those regulations. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, and they don't have much knowledge of Vaishnava philosophy. But they get all excited when they chant Nitai Gaur Radha Shah. And Prabhupada says those tears that they shed will help them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna. All right, text 24. There are offenses to be considered while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Therefore, simply by chanting Hare Krishna, one does not become ecstatic. So, here, this is Krishnadas Kaviraj saying, when there are offenses to the holy name, the ecstasy is not available. Then there's going to be a discussion here of what those offenses are. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna. All right, text 25. If this is a quote, Bhaktisiddhanta commented on, this is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. And it reads, if one's heart does not change, tears do not flow from the eyes, the body does not shiver, nor his hair stand on end as he chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it should be understood that his heart is as hard as an iron. Hard as iron. This is due to his offenses at the lotus feet of the Lord's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It doesn't mean that you're always experiencing that, but at different times when chanting the holy name, if this loving ecstasy has never manifested or doesn't manifest, at least from time to time, then the offenses at the lotus feet of the Lord's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The Prabhupada's purport is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He's on the path of sadhana. He describes this change of heart in terms of sadhana and practice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna. Next verse, simply chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without offenses vanquishes all sinful activities. Thus, pure devotional service, which is the cause of love of Godhead, becomes manifest. Simply chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without offenses vanquishes all sinful activities. Thus, pure devotional service, which is the cause of love of Godhead, becomes manifest. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. 27. When one's transcendental loving service to the Lord is actually awakened, it generates transformations in the body, such as perspiration, trembling, throbbing of the heart, faltering of the voice, and tears in the eyes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, there's a warning here about this, these symptoms. Prabhupada says in the purport, these bodily transformations are automatically manifested when one is actually situated in love of Godhead. One should not artificially imitate them. Our disease is desire for that which is material. Even while advancing in spiritual life, we want material acclaim. One must be freed from this disease. Pure devotion must be anyabalasita sunyam, without desire for anything material. Advanced devotees manifest many bodily transformations, which are symptoms of ecstasy, but one should not imitate them to achieve cheap adoration from the public. When one actually attains the advanced stage, the ecstatic symptoms will appear automatically. One does not need to imitate them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Text 28. As a result of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one makes such great advancement in spiritual life that simultaneously his material existence terminates and he receives love of Godhead. The holy name of Krishna is so powerful that by chanting even one name, one very easily achieves these transcendental riches. By chanting even one name, Krishna, 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 one very easily achieves these transcendental riches. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Govinda. Hare Krishna. If one chants the exalted holy name of the Lord again and again, and yet his love for the Supreme Lord does not develop, and tears do not appear in his eyes, it is evident that because of his offenses in chanting, the seed of the holy name of Krishna does not sprout. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram. So, purport, Prabhupada says, If one chants the Hare Krishna mantra offensively, one does not achieve the desired result. Yeah, you go on chanting Hare Krishna for millions of lifetimes and it'll just be abracadabra. I want this, I want that. Therefore, one should carefully avoid the offenses which have already been described in connection with verse 24. So, where's verse 24? Take a look at that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's read it. Yeah. Verse 24, there are offenses to be considered while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Therefore, simply by chanting Hare Krishna, one does not become ecstatic. And it's a long purport. It looks like Prabhupada goes through the offenses, what they are, how to recognize them. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Really, all you need is the first one. If you can get past this first offense, all the others will be taken care of. On the path of sadhana, you have to watch all of the offenses. But in the path of kripa siddha, Hare Krishna, if you can just get past this first offense, all the others are taken care of. So, Prabhupada, he invokes the path of kripa siddha because his very first sentence in the purport is, it's beneficial to chant the names of Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda before chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, because by chanting these two holy names, Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, one immediately becomes ecstatic. And if he then chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, he becomes free of offenses. Right on. Right? See? That's it. Hare Krishna. Immediately becomes ecstatic. And then you don't have to worry about all these other offenses. So to take shelter of Chaitanya Nityananda, which is what? It's the path of causeless mercy. They don't accept offense. They're giving freely to everyone. Okay? But on the path of sadhana, where it's not necessarily in this ecstatic mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or just practicing and behavior modification and austerities and pujas and rituals and building things and making things and trying to rearrange society. On that level, there are 10 offenses you got to be careful of. If you're on this other level, there are no offenses because you take shelter of Chaitanya Nityananda in ecstatic love. Don't worry, there's no offenses. But without that, you're on this other level, then you got 10 offenses you got to watch out for. And the very first offense, if someone can get past that, then they stand a chance of getting the kripa siddha, the causeless mercy, the ecstatic love. They stand a chance. So that is the first offense is to blaspheme great personalities who are engaged in distributing the holy name of the Lord. One cannot distribute the holy names of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra unless he is empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, one should not criticize or blaspheme a devotee who is thus engaged. To blaspheme the great saintly persons who are engaged in preaching the glories of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the worst offense at the lotus feet of the holy name. One should not criticize a preacher of the glories of the Hare Krishna Mantra. If one does so, he is an offender. The Nam Prabhu, who is identical with Krishna, will never tolerate such blasphemous activities, even from one who passes as a great devotee. See, that is In the beginning, Prabhupada says, simply by taking shelter of Nittaya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, don't worry about the offenses, because you've immediately got the mercy of the causeless mercy of ecstatic love of Godhead, because that's what they embody, that's what they manifest, and that's what they've come to give, that ecstatic love. But if you're not at that point and you're practicing rules and regulations, do's and don'ts, organizing society, doing welfare work, programs here, programs there, you're on that level, then be very careful, especially of this first offense, not to blaspheme the devotees who are on that ecstatic level, who are distributing the holy name of the Lord as given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See, that's the very first offense for those that aren't on that level. And then there's more. There's a bunch more offenses. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Simply chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without offenses vanquishes all sinful activities. Hare Krishna. So we have the opportunity of association with devotees, or a devotee or devotees who are worshiping the Lord on this ecstatic level of the mercy of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, and the Panchatattva. Hare Krishna, immediately elevated to that platform of chanting Hare Krishna without offense. And it vanquishes all sinful activities. So powerful that there's no need to deal with this bad habit or that bad habit or this undesirable behavior or whatever. There's no need to deal with it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Thus, pure devotional service, which is the cause of love of Godhead, becomes manifest. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Jai. I'm going to stop there for today. And Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And put some links below to go to that direct to the online preaching and classes given by Gaur Haridas, Srila Gaur Haridas, who is preaching on this level of ecstatic worship of the Lord as given by Sri Chaitanya Nityananda. And it's very, very wonderful, powerful preaching. And he himself manifests. You can see he's a transformed personality. And he's pretty intense. So if you someone decides to go and visit, it's on Facebook. He goes on there because this facility to go live, and there's a whole little community on Facebook built around his preaching. And if someone decides to go and visit there, just be ready. Hold on to your seatbelt. It's pretty far out stuff. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.